the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Are back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back right here on the Value of Wrestling YouTube channel. I got it out. I did good. And we are here with your WrestleDream review, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one, the only, big time. Yes, you know I am. And joining me tonight, the one, the only, right here. Rock on. And finally, the one, the only, New Japan Wrestling Pro expert. You know it, and if we are all clear and we are good, I just need a thumbs up, if we are good and everything is good to go. It looks like we're good to go.
Excellent.
We are golden, fellas. We are golden. We are live.
Okay. Yep, we are looking beautiful, and we are beautiful people, aren't we? Oh, it's right here on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, what a night. What a night. Let me just do... Whoop, I did that wrong. We will start right here.
You think you know me.
Oh, you do.
Ooh.
Yes. Hey, I know how to remake some stuff up that makes it sound pretty damn good. But we are here. This is the Value Wrestling. We are here to review WrestleDreams, and what a night. Overall, pretty good show. There were some highs, there were some lows, there were some great moments. Of course, we will get to each and every moment. We will talk about it. We will break it down. We are going to discuss it. Gentlemen, before we get started, how you feeling?
I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
Yes, very much so.
I will be there for that.
Yes.
Well, it will definitely be interesting how that all plays out. It may be worth a road trip. I might have to go up, work up in that area on Wednesday and maybe just hang around and see who I can run into.
There you go.
So, let's break it down. It's WrestleDream. Live from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz were our main commentators. We had Jim Ross there at one point. We had John Moxley, who reportedly is getting fined for some of the comments he made during his time there. So we had that. We had a lot of people there, and we will definitely start with the opening of the show. At 0 hour, we had the opening with our good boy TK, Tony Khan, in the ring doing a video package and a announcement and a I don't know what the exact word to say at the moment is, but they did a special dedication remembering Tony Inoki. Tony Khan looked like he was scared. I don't know. I don't know. He just looked scared. He looked like he was in the wrong place. I think there could have been better people to do that than him. I get why he was out there, but it was just kind of a weird. It didn't come off. I don't know. I get what they were trying to do. It just didn't come off as good as I think it could have. Because he just kind of looked like, I don't know. I won't say the comment I said earlier on air just because it's, we won't go there. Anyways.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We opened up with a 0 hour match. We had quite a few matches on 0 hour. 0 hour actually felt like just a set part of the show. It's like, let's start the pay-per-view now because it was like match. And we got a few little snippets and video package in there, but that was about it. So the first matchup was Shane Taylor with teaming with Lee Moriarty, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez versus Keith Lee, Athena, Billy Starks, and my New Japan guy, Shotsuchi Kamo. I can't say it. Feed me. Name.
What?
Who?
You had frozen at least on our end for a second.
Oh, I freeze up? That's weird.
Yeah, you did for a little bit there. But
okay. So we had
So how about we go like this? Satoshi Kojima, Keith Lee,
yes.
Athena, and Billy Starks
There you go.
against DeMonte, Mercedes Martinez, Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty.
Yeah. No, I got most of that. I just didn't get the New Japan guy out of there. That's what I was trying to get our boy over here to give me the name.
Oh, you froze up, my brother. You froze up. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I can't tell I froze up, because I can't see. I have like many screens, but it doesn't necessarily show that I am freezing in the moment. So I'm blinking still. So that's good. Anyways, so that's the opening match. The fans chanted, "We want bread." Excalibur, of course. Okay. So your boy is part of the Bread Club. So what is that all about, New Japan Pro Wrestling expert?
I got it. And
So the way the
We really
commentators
have to go.
explained it was that apparently he has a YouTube channel and it's all about the different types of bread, different pastries, etc.
All right. Yeah.
it's we'll leave it at that. I don't follow the Bread Club, so I'm not a big
Well,
fan of it.
is he not a New Japan Pro Wrestling guy? Are you not
Yes, he
are
is,
you not our
but
dude?
he doesn't bring up the Bread Club in Japan, though.
Well, they brought it up tonight. You're the expert in New Japan, so it falls on you. Anywho, we will move on. Anyways, JR, you might want to explain that. It's a comment that was in here. I don't know. Apparently, he just likes bread. Okay, so DeMonte and starts, but it quickly off to Athena for a suplex. JR wants Athena to go on a tear, apparently not realizing that she's been on one for the better part of the last year. Taylor comes in to punch Keith in the face and manages to knock him down. And it's off to Moriarty, who gets dropped rather quickly by Mr. Bread Club leader, and can come in to run Moriarty over. A DD2 gets 2 with Diamante making the save, earning her a beating from Starks. Everything breaks down, and the thing that hits at O-face on Moriarty. Athena hits an O-face on Moriarty, with JR calling it illegal. The ring is cleared, leaving the Bread Club leader to lariat Moriarty for the pin at 5 minutes, 38 seconds. Athena has a move that's called the O-face. That's just, I'm sorry. My mind went a whole different place when I'm like, Athena O-face. Okay, yeah.
That's all right.
Welcome to the party. Anyways, the next match on 0 Hour, we had Josh Barnett versus Claudio Castagnoli. They did a lot in the little bit there to definitely give you some taste of what Josh Barnett is. John Moxley came out on commentary with Claudio Castagnoli. Well, at least they gave us a little bit about who this guy was and built him to be something special than just some guy that was facing Claudio Castagnoli at 0 Hour. So Moxley's on commentary, and he's definitely talking up the training about Barnett. They grapple to start. Barnett powering him down, but Castagnoli manages to take over on the mat. Claudio gets in some elbows, but Barnett reverses into a dragon screw leg whip. At some point, Moxley says, elbow his blank head off. So, yeah. That's broken up as we get Castagnoli can't get the swing back up, and they slug it out until Barnett gets a quickly broken abdominal stretch, which was the move of the night. I mean, I think everybody at some point tonight did the abdominal stretch.
Yep.
All in respect to Inoki. So we saw, I think, everybody in every match. There was at least one. So Castagnoli gets in the swing, setting up some kind of leg lock. Barnett makes the ropes and grabs a suplex before they strike out. The neutralizer is blocked, so Castagnoli pulls him into an octopus hold. And I can't believe Castagnoli can bend in that way and get all tied up with that man. I mean, he totally got tied up with that man. Eventually rolled it over into a pin at 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And I don't know how they untwisted that pretzel, but that was a pretty impressive match. Josh Barnett came off really strong. He got on the mic afterwards and shows respect. It says Inoki would be a fan of Castagnoli. Barnett says Castagnoli owes him more time, though, so keep training. Sounds good to Castagnoli. So if you didn't know who this Josh Barnett guy was, they definitely did really good in getting you to know some of who he is, and he looked really impressive. And after the match, they had a great moment, and it looks like we will probably see a rematch somewhere down the road, somewhere in the sands of time. Then we had
I'm looking forward to another rematch, that's for sure.
Then we had
Leave it at that one.
the funeral match, or what we thought would have been the funeral match, when we had Nick Wayne versus Luchasaurus. Nigel says this is going to be like Luke Skywalker being dropped into into the pin with the Rancor. Okay, this is going to be like when Luke Skywalker got dropped in the pin of the Rancor at Jabba the Hutt's palace, and they dropped him down there. Yeah. Wayne fires off with a drop kick to start, but gets tossed with a nasty release. German suplex. Luchasaurus pounds away, but Wayne is back up with some kicks. The choke slam sends Wayne to the floor, where he crawls to his mom in the front row, and they made a big deal about his mom being there every chance they could. Oh, look, it's Nick Wayne's mom. Okay, cool. That earns him a face first swing into the barricade. Oh, that was a vicious. Yeah, he was outside in the front row, and then Luchasaurus picked him up and just swung him into another barricade. But Wayne scores with some kicks back inside. Wayne's world is easily blocked, and the forearm to the back of the head for the finish at 4 minutes, 51 seconds. This is a dominant match by Luchasaurus. And Nick Wayne's mom was probably over more than anything at the moment, but it was like they kept going to Nick Wayne's mom like constantly. It's like, okay, cool. His mom's there. I get it. Christian likes dead daddy.
So is Nick Wayne's mom's AEW Judy Bagwell?
No, that's the best friend's mom.
No. Do not put it out there. Don't put that. You know what? That's another name that's going to get bleeped off the show forevermore. Don't give Tony Khan ideas to go look up.
We're gonna get one. We're gonna get that match. I feel it coming. They're gonna put her on a forklift. It'll be great, brother.
Did not. Oh, gee. I perpetuate the bad ideas, and someone always runs with it.
Everything's running slow. That's not good. Why is everything running?
I didn't say her name.
He's doing it for the bad idea in general.
Continue. All right. So we were there, and we will get here. We have the trios tag titles, the team of TMDK, which stands for
The Mighty Don't Kneel.
Which was Shane Haste, Mickey Nicholls, and Bad Dude Tito.
Mikey Nicholls.
Mikey. God, flashback. Sorry. Mikey. Anyways. No, we had a Mikey back in the day that was with the... Never mind. We won't go down the road. Hi.
And Bad Dude Tito.
Bad Dude Tito. Does he drink Tito's vodka or Tito's tequila or whatever it is? Anyways, they're challenging the Acclaimed of Billy Gunn. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn for the trios tag titles here. Tito in first with Cassidy. He powers Cassidy down to start and hands it off to Haste. Cassidy punches his way out of the corner, and it's Gunn coming in to quite a reaction, running shoulder drops Haste, and Gunn loads up for Scissor Me Timbers, which connects for quite the reaction. We settle down with Bowens getting caught in the wrong corner, and Tito adding a slingshot helo. Bowens fights out of a chin lock, but gets knocked back again to keep up the beating. Any attempt to get over to the corner is cut off as Gunn and Cassidy are knocked to the floor in a smart move. Bowens managed to duck around and get over to Gunn, though, and the house is clean. Tino plants Gunn rather quickly, and Cassidy has to make the save. A setup for the cannonball hits Cassidy in the corner, but Gunn is back with the famouser. The arrival into the mic drop retains the titles at 9 minutes, 18 seconds. Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, the Acclaimed, along with Daddy Ass, have retained their trios tag team titles. And this was a 0 hour, which was packed on the show. Good 0 hour show. And so, yeah. Gentlemen, your thoughts on 0 hour?
I thought it was a good way to start the whole event.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make your arguments about Tony Khan being scared and all that, but overall, I thought the matches were good.
The matches were decent. It was a great start. A lot of matches. They didn't spend a lot of time talking about anything. They just put matches out there. And they were quite quick matches. They really didn't take up a whole lot of time. So it was good, fast-paced stuff. So it was good. Now, I don't remember if I got cut off before we got to announce that next week, the weekly roundup. See, technical difficulties killed it last night. This week, we're going to go, the weekly roundup will be on Sundays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time starting next Sunday, which is the 8th of October. Just so you know, be there, join us. We will be live. We all will be live next Saturday night after Fastlane for a Fastlane review, just as much as like we are here for your WrestleDreams review. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share.
This Wednesday, please be on the lookout for a sign or a sign guy at AEW Dynamite this Wednesday.
If you're watching Dynamite, we're hoping that Value Wrestling will make its first televised appearance in some form or another. Anyways, jumping right into WrestleDreams. It's the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles on the line. Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus the Righteous. It's MJF on his own in a handicap match against the Righteous. Oh, yes. Anyway, so MJF is defending it on his own, but before the match, he accuses. MJF comes out and says he accuses someone of stealing his mask out of the bag, even though it was hanging on the wall, and attacking Jay White. But he says it wasn't him, and says that he's gonna. He promises a body slam. Dutch starts for the team, and MJF asks who wants to see that body slam. Instead, we get a handshake of sportsmanship before MJF pokes Dutch in the eyes. MJF gets in a hip swivel and pulls Vincent in, only to get clotheslined by Dutch. MJF also promised to shove Vincent's dreadlocks up Dutch's rear side, if I got those names right. Which he eventually did, in a way. So, anyways, the chin lock doesn't last long as MJF fights up, but realizes he doesn't have a partner, which was a great moment.
I just wanted to know.
That was a great moment when MJF rolled out under him and then went over to his corner with his hand out, and he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have a partner. MJF is great. He can make anything get over. He can wrestle with nobody and gets it over. But he realizes that's when Dutch power bombs him down so Vincent can hit his swanton for a 2. The Boss Man Slam gets 2 more, and Autumn Sunshine gets the same, leaving the Righteous stunned. Vincent goes for a chair, but MJF grabs him low to cut it off. Back up, and Vincent kicks him in the face, but misses a second swanton. Everything breaks down, and Dutch is rammed into the corner over and over. The body slam connect. MJF does get the body slam, and the fans are thrilled with Dutch sit into the corner. MJF sends Vincent face first into the back of Dutch's tights. Yes, so Dutch is bent over in the corner, and MJF takes Vincent and rams him right into his rear end. The Kangaroo Kit sends the Righteous outside, and the Heat Seeker finishes Dutch with MJF's feet on the rope at 9 minutes, 35 seconds, even though the referee looked up at the last second like, wait a minute. So, great match here. MJF is more than entertaining. He won a match by himself, made it look good, made it look impressive, and did what he said he was going to do before the match started. Now, for one of the big matches of the night, what Mr. Miguel or Mr. Z should be excited about, and we had the Ring of Honor World Title, New Japan Strong Openweight title on the line. Eddie Kingston defending against Shibata, and Shibata is the what champion?
Ring of Honor Pure
There
Champion.
you go. Why his title wasn't on the line, I don't know. They were talking about Shibata becoming the American Trio Champion. I don't. They kept saying American Trio Triple Crown. There we go. They kept calling it American Triple Crown Champion.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, we've had plenty of people who have Triple Crowns, plus many other titles. We've had people who've had 8 belts. And so I don't know what the big deal about calling him the American Triple Crown thing was. Anyways, Shibata is challenging. He goes to the mat to start with that not working, they trade strikes until Shibata pulls him down into an ankle lock. The rope is reached, so Shibata grabs a finger forward to stay on the leg. That's broken up as well as Shibata puts on a bow and arrow. Kingston fights tough and fires off the chops in the corner, but Shibata kicks him in the face. The running basement drop kick in the corner, and the fans are behind Shibata. Kingston is back with a T-bone suplex, but Shibata grabs an STO, with Taz being at his best by explaining the leverage and science. The octopus hold on the mat has Kingston in trouble, but he makes it over to the ropes, which when you saw this octopus hold, the one that you saw the one that Claudio did, and then you saw the one that Shibata did here, you're just like, oh yeah, that was Shibata did it just a hair probably better than Claudio. No offense, Claudio, it was a beautiful move, but Shibata had Eddie Kingston tied up like a pretzel in a knot that like it was like a Boy Scout knot that you ain't never seen, my friends.
It was very painful to watch. That's what it was.
Kingston, I don't know how Kingston didn't cry. I mean, I was about to cry just watching it get tied up like that. The octopus hold on the mat was Kingston with trouble, but he makes it over the rope. Kingston knocks him away again, but Shibata comes back with a running kick to the chest. They strike it out until Kingston's spinning back fist gets one, and then they go back and forth. I think they hit like 3 or 4 of these back fists on each other. Just hard back fists. The Northern Lights bomb gets the same, followed by another back fist and the power bomb. Yes, and a beautiful Kingston power bomb into the pin on Shibata at 10:58. Beautiful moment after the match, even more beautiful as Shibata and Kingston sat cross-legged in the middle of the ring, paying the respects to one another. I don't know if that's some traditions in New Japan or something, but it was, they definitely did their thing. The only reason I figure it's a tradition is because the way they both did it and were bowing to each other in that moment. So it was a really cool moment.
It's a sign of respect.
Yeah, that's what I was picking up. Not being a knowledgeable about New Japan, you could just tell in that moment. If you didn't know anything about New Japan, you could tell there was something there that is very unique. As they sat cross-legged, kind of bowing, paying each other's respects. Then Kingston and Shibata both got up, and Kingston took both his titles and left, and then told them to cut off his music and let Shibata's music play, and Shibata's music played, and it was an amazing match. We didn't get the recap of the Julia Hart, Kris Statlander story, and man, did they make Julia Hart in that video look damn good. I mean, jeez. Her whole promo in that video, I mean, they make her look like $1 million, even though she's already $1 million. Anywho, calm down. Water.
Fan that boy off.
Anyways, we get Kris Statlander.
Hydrate, you thirsty bastard.
We get Kris Statlander with Julia Hart for the TBS title. Hart with Brody King as usual, looking like the bodyguard as the commentary table said it, and they just look good. I don't know why the fact that he walks down there with her makes it just that much better looking. Like, I don't think a Malachi Black could do it. I don't think Buddy Matthews could do it. But whatever it is about the look of Brody King and the way he comes to the ring with Julia Hart, it just adds that extra little element to her character depth. It's just different. I don't know what it is. I can't put a finger on it, but it's an impressive entrance. Anyways, Statlander powers her into the corner to start and hits some shoulders to ribs. The running knee misses, but she runs Hart over again without much trouble. Hart manages a Haruna Karana. And if I say that wrong, people, well, you know what? Get over it. But Statlander muscles her over with a suplex for 2. They go outside where Statlander grabs her in a fireman's carry and carries her back up the steps. Yeah, they were outside and she just picked her up on her shoulders and walked back up the steps to the ring and got back in the ring. Right back. Oh, they go right back to the floor with Hart sending her into the barricade this time. A backsplash gives Hart 2 inside. We hit the quickly broken abdominal stretch. Again, abdominal stretch. I guess we should have put a counter up, and every time an abdominal stretch happened, make, abdominal stretch. I think one of those matches, it happened more times than we can count. Anyways. Now Statlander's run.
Just don't make it a drinking
game. I know. We'd be in bad shape. Now Statlander's running in the corner, set up the blue Thunderbomb for 2. Statlander trips, so King yells at her, allowing Hart to load up the miss. That takes too long, though, and Statlander grabs a fireman's driver for 2 more. Hart pulls her off the top and goes up, meaning it is the moonsault for a rather close 2. Heartless goes on, but Statlander muscles her up into a tombstone, followed by Sunday Night Fever for a victory at 8 minutes, 54 seconds. Kris Statlander retains her title. Julia Hart still looks just amazing. But yeah, Kris Statlander is still your champion. Julia Hart had not lost a match since her last match with Kris Statlander was the big selling point there. So now it looks like Julia Hart is going to have a story where she needs to beat Kris Statlander. So hopefully they'll continue this story, and maybe we'll see Julia Hart beat Kris Statlander in the next match for the title, which would probably be really good. We're going to recap the setup for this 4-way match. This is a 4-way match for a shot at the AEW Tag Team title shots. We have the Guns, Hook and Orange Cassidy versus Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. So it's one fall to the finish.
Your favorite tag team?
Shush.
Someone's favorite tag team.
Shush, please. Shush, please.
It is one fall to the finish for a future AEW Tag Team title shot. Phoenix and Nick strike away at each other before popping up for a stare down. Cassidy tags himself in, but the Guns pull Phoenix outside for to ram him into the barricade. Back in, and Austin drop kicks Cassidy into the corner before trying to cover Colton. The referee isn't having that. No, yeah, okay, so yeah. If Austin tried to cover his brother to get the pin, because, hey, that's a smart way to do it. I mean, if you're in a 4-way, you're a tag team, why wouldn't you try to do it? I mean, it at least makes somewhat of sense there. Hook comes in and gets to clear the ring as well, leaving Cassidy to hit a dive onto both Bucks. Apparently, Phoenix is down, so Penta comes in to kick at the Bucks. Apparently, Phoenix may be injured. We are still looking into that. We have our people other places that are trying to dig and get more information on what may have gone down with Phoenix, but Phoenix may have been injured in this match. We settle down to Colton punching Hook down for 2, but Penta is back in. Made in Japan gets 2 on Austin as everything breaks down again. Matt hits a super kick. Nick adds the slingshot X Factor to Austin. Penta's big running flip dive connects through Hook's tag, and though Hook tags himself in. Red Rum is blocked by Orange Cassidy, or it's blocked, so Cassidy orange punches Austin into Red Rum to put him in trouble. Nick tags himself in, though, and hits a 450 for 2 with Cassidy making the save. The Bucks double super kick Hook, but Penta super kicks the Bucks. Not that it matters, as the BTE trigger finishes off Penta at 12 minutes, 10 seconds to give the Bucks a freaking title match at FTR or Aussie Open, whoever wins the AEW Tag Team titles later tonight. Young Bucks get another title match. Don't care. Don't get why they went with the Young Bucks in this case. And the other spot, what was the one spot where Penta, what was it? Hook was on Penta's back. Penta had one of the guns up into the Penta driver, and then one of the Bucks jumped off the top rope, and they just like, it's okay when they do some of these multiple moves with the tag team partners, but when they sit there blatantly and you see Penta just standing there waiting for like Nick or Matt or whoever did it to climb up on the ropes and jump off, it's kind of like breaks the whole thing, because he's like sitting there forever and you're just like, okay, get up there, let's finish this. You know, it's not as impressive as if they all get into the position and then it happens. But yeah, it was a 4-man tag match. The Bucks get another title shot. Why? I don't know. I would have gone with Hook and Orange Cassidy because that seems like a nice tag team. It gives both of them something to do moving forward, because, you know, you just had Orange Cassidy lose the international title. Hook's kind of floundering. I mean, I thought that would have been a good deal to let them have a little bit of a run at FTR. I thought that would have been a great match, Orange Cassidy and Hook versus FTR. That would have probably been a pretty damn good match with all the different elements that they would have all brought to the match. Anyways, we get the Hangman versus Swerve Strickland, and Swerve Strickland is over in Seattle. Yes, he's from Tacoma, Washington, so we are in Swerve's house, Swerve's country, whatever you want to call it. Swerve was over. Why do you jump around, you stupid thing? Let me go. Oh, now we all off. Why? Yeah, okay, there we go. Mogul Embassy, complete with Prince Nana dancing to the ring, is here with Swerve Strickland, the homeboy, feeling out the process of start until Paige knocks him into the corner for a loud chop. The fans are way, and I don't know if you didn't watch it, I can't emphasize how much the fans were behind Swerve. There were enough chants like, this is Swerve's house, Swerve. I mean, that place was rocking for this match for Swerve Strickland. This is probably the loudest they had been all night up to this point. We've had some pops, but they were like loud throughout the whole match. It was a consistent thing here. Swerve here, even as Paige knocks him down into the corner, Swerve is right back with a kick to the face, and the middle rope elbow to the back lets him dance a bit. Paige manages a quick suplex, and they both down again with Swerve on the floor. Paige hits a big moonsault to take him down on the floor. The dive drops Swerve again, but they go back inside where he grabs a rolling downward spiral. The brainbuster gets Swerve too, but Paige catches him on the top. That's fine with Swerve, who knocks him backwards for the Swerve stomp. A vicious-looking Swerve stomp too. Like, he landed like his feet on this up here on his top shoulders, up here on the blades, and then like almost fell back into him. It looked, yeah. Swerve's house call gets 2 more, and they head to the apron. The dead eye on the apron is blocked, so Paige hits it on the steps instead. Paige doesn't cover, instead sending him inside and kicking away, only to get caught in the ropes. They slap it out until the buckshot lariat is countered into a rather nasty arm crank. We pause for a doctor's check on Paige, but Swerve hits a Swerve stomp onto the apron. A 450 splash onto the arm, onto Hangman Page's arm. He 450 splashed the arm. And Swerve gets 2. He grabs the armbar. Paige makes it to the rope, scores with the left arm lariat. Swerve armbar is broken up, and Paige hammers on the bad hand. So now Swerve is working on, or Paige is working on Swerve's bad hand. Swerve gets in a suplex, but misses another stomp. The buckshot lariat connects for a rather delayed 2. So Hangman Page hits the buckshot lariat, but he's already hurt. He hit the lariat with the arm that he had hurt during this match. And so he lay there for a minute, so he wasn't able to get over there. He goes over for a pin, but Prince Nana puts Swerve's foot on the ropes and actually holding on to it as the ref turns around and sees that the foot's there and that Prince Nana is there. The ref pretty much chases Nana to leave. The Nana had taken his crown off before he left the ringside and kind of left it in the ring by arguing with the ref. This was allowing Swerve to hit him in the face with Nana's crown for 2. So we go back-to-back house calls to set up for the JML driver for the pin. Page on Page, and Swerve wins at 20 minutes, 6 seconds. Swerve gets a big win here. Very impressive night. And then we move
Absolutely.
And then we move into a package with Ricky Starks and Wheeler Yuta. I think this match probably should have been on earlier. I think after this match, it kind of hurt it because I think the fans were already done. They just had a big moment with Swerve, and so I think Wheeler Yuta and Ricky Starks may have not got as much love after the previous match. And, of course, we had Moxley out on commentary, and this is where Moxley, I guess, is getting fined because he said all types of crazy stuff on air. And probably said some of the 7 deadly words that you're never supposed to say on air. Anyways, they go with the grapple. Yes, there's 7 deadly words that you're not allowed to say on air. They go with the grappling to start before opting to punch each other in the face. Instead, Stark gets the better of things and knocks Yuta up against the ropes, allowing him to stare at the crowd a bit. Yuta slips out of a fireman's carry and rolls him up for 2, only to have Starks getting another shot. Moxley thinks Starks is talented, but runs his mouth too much, meaning he isn't sure if he should fight Starks or take him on a date. Yes. So Moxley says he doesn't know if he should fight Starks or take him on a date. I wonder how Renee would feel about Moxley taking Starks on a date. I don't have a button. I guess you could go tag team back again.
Just move on.
Yuta is back with something like a Samoa drop and an armbar goes on. Cue Big Bill as Starks makes the ropes and spikes Yuta for 2. Starks hits his own hammer and anvil elbows, which just makes Yuta mad. That's fine with Starks, who takes Yuta's head off, but gets shoved off the top rope for a crash on the Bill. Yuta posts Bill to get rid of him and fires off the real hammer and anvil elbows. The seatbelt gives Yuta 2, but Starks is back up with a spear. The Rochambeau finishes Yuta at 9 minutes, 54 seconds. It was a decent match. I think it lost a lot of the zing because the match they came before them was already had the crowd so roaring and just over the top that it was hard for them to really do anything in that match. Then we got into the other big match that it was definitely a match. It was a bit long, but it was a different type of match. If you're not used to a real true wrestler's grapple grounding submission mover match, then you could probably say this
clinic.
Yes, and for people who can't watch that or that's not their type, you could see how it could be a long match because it was a slow, methodical, a really good storytelling match. But anyways, we had Bryan Danielson. Sorry, it's always going to be hard. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Sabre's New Japan TV title isn't on the line, so it felt like everybody had a title tonight. It was weird though. Feeling out process has started as they both seem nervous about going too far. Danielson suplexes him down and Sabre pauses for a standoff. Sabre pulls him into the abdominal stretch. But Danielson pulls him into a leg lock. That's broken up and they stay on the mat with neither being able to get control. Instead, Danielson pulls him into the surfboard, but Sabre slips out again. Sabre starts going after the arm and gives it a shoulder before adding a nasty stomp. The arm gets twisted around and Sabre is starting to get cocky. Sabre stays on the arm, but he takes too long going up, allowing Danielson to cut him off. The arm is snapped over Sabre's shoulder, though, and the armbar goes on up top. Danielson headbutts his way out of trouble, and a top rope butterfly suplex lets him not get the in the bell lock. I don't know why some people write like this. Okay, I am sure you had a reason why you wrote it that way, but anyway. Instead, Danielson goes with a half crab, but Sabre is right over to the ropes. The yes kicks rock Sabre, and Danielson stomps him in the head. The running knee is countered, and Sabre pulls him into the European clutch for 2. Moxley on commentary still is on his feet as they both need a breather. Counter mutilation goes on, but Sabre rolls out only to get caught with an elbow to the face. Danielson gets a leg lock, but Sabre reverses it into one of his own. That earns him a spit in the face, and they strike it out, and with Danielson getting the better of the things. Back up, and Sabre goes for the arm while Danielson kicks at the leg. Sabre gets the better of things this time and pulls Danielson into the double arm crank. Oh, he had him all tied up, and Daniel Bryan's and Nigel McGuinness was out there saying, think about your kids, think about your wife, retire now. Oh, Nigel McGuinness was trying to get heat. I know there's a lot of talk about Nigel McGuinness trying to get back in the ring to possibly face Bryan Danielson. So Nigel McGuinness is really stirring the pot there. And Danielson was tied up. Zack Sabre Jr. had him twisted up in a way that looked so painful. It was beautiful but painful at the same time. And yes, those words can go together sometimes. Danielson eventually does make it to the rope where Nigel calls him a coward. The great commentary with Nigel McGuinness being out there. So they trade kicks with the Danielson nailing a big one to the head. The stomp to the head misses, so Sabre pulls him into the cross arm breaker. That's reversed into a leg trap, belly to back suplex into the running knee for the near fall. Another running knee to the face finishes Sabre at 20 minutes, 13 seconds. And Bryan Danielson is your winner. Post-match respect is offered, but Sabre turns it down. Naturally, Nigel says that wasn't technical wrestling, so Danielson is not the best in the world. So Nigel and I definitely can't wait to see Nigel and Bryan get locked in together. I hope he gets back in the ring and gets this match because that is going to be something to see. But
that was a legendary ROH feud between the two. So to see them run that back would definitely, at this point in their career, would definitely be fantastic.
But the Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. match was a technical clinic that if you didn't know about mat wrestling, grapple wrestling, submission wrestling, these boys pulled it out and brought it like we all had to assume. If you know these guys, know their name or know anything, you assume this was going to be a damn good match, and it was a damn good match. Mm-hmm. All right, the 6-man tag match, we had Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus the Don Callis family of Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. Omega and Ospreay will start things off, but it's quickly off to Sammy Guevara, who lounges on the top rope. They start running the ropes until Sammy flips over him and scores with a drop kick. Ospreay comes back in to get suplexed by Jericho as Sammy shouts at commentary. Jericho punches Ospreay, but we get a big standoff. The good guys clear the house and pay tribute to Inoki and hit stereo dives. Back in, Omega slugs away at Takeshita, who rakes the eyes to cut him off. Takeshita hits a clothesline, but Ibushi comes in for a save. Ospreay puts on a abdominal stretch. With the rest of the family adding leverage. And this was a great moment. They all held hands and were about to sing Kumbaya, but Aubrey Edwards decided to break it up. So anyways, Ospreay hits an abdominal stretch. He reaches over to Sammy Guevara, who grabs his hand, and Sammy Guevara reaches down and grabs Takeshita's hand, if I'm doing this in the correct order, and then Takeshita grabs Don Callis' hand, and then Aubrey Edwards turns around as they're all holding hands. So I thought that was a great moment in that brief segment. So we had the abdominal stretch. Anyways, the Blue Thunderbomb gets a 2 on Omega, but he gets over for the tag. That means an abdominal stretch to Sammy, with the rest of Omega's partners pulling as well. So we got it on the other side. Ibushi comes in with a double back elbow. We get a Ibushi Jericho sex god pose. Omega and Jericho hit stereo moonsaults to the floor, leaving Jericho to hit the lion salt for 2 on Sammy. Takeshita breaks up the walls and drops Omega to his head with a release German suplex. Jericho has to fight Ospreay and Takeshita at the same time, but Takeshita knees Ospreay by mistake. Omega's back up with the big running flip dive to take out Takeshita and Ospreay. Back in, Sammy Spanish flies Jericho for 2, followed by the shooting star to the floor. Omega and Ospreay slug it out back inside, but Takeshita is back in with a running knee to put down Omega. Sammy code-breakers Jericho for 1, so Jericho fights up only to get beaten down again. Ibushi's back up to strike away. But Ospreay saves Takeshita from the big boot. The golden trigger is cut off by Sammy's high crossbody. Jericho's back up with a Judas effect to Ospreay, but Sammy super kicks Jericho in the face. Jericho tries to pull him into the walls, but Callis comes in with a baseball bat shot to give Sammy Guevara the pin, and Sammy Guevara, Will Ospreay, and Takeshita, the Don Callis family, win at 22 minutes, 17 seconds. We're going to recap of the Aussie Open, challenging FTR for the tag titles. FTR beat them for the New Japan tag titles a year ago, and now the Aussies want to even things up. We recapped them, challenged them, the beatdown and everything. Somebody screwed up and put that in there twice. Anyway, so we get the AEW tag team titles on the line. Aussie Open versus FTR. And remember, whoever wins this match will be the champions, and they will be facing the Young Bucks later down the road. Hopefully not at Title Tuesday, because that would be too damn soon. Anyways, FTR is defending. Hardwood and Fletcher lock up to start with neither being able to get very far. Wheeler comes in, and this time Fletcher bails to the floor. Hardwood Sends him back in where Wheeler hits a dropkick to take over. It's off to Davis for a chop-off with Hardwood, who gets slammed down. Davis hits a back splash. So it's back to Fletcher, who gets caught with a snap suplex. Everything breaks down, and FTR is rammed into each other on the floor. Back in, and Fletcher forearms away at Wheeler. Before Davis grabs a chinlock, Wheeler fights up and catches Fletcher on top, meaning it is a belly-to-back suplex for a big crash. Fletcher is able to grab a brainbuster, but Wheeler's up again, this time getting over to Hardwood. Rolling German suplex drops Fletcher as Wheeler and Davis fight on the floor. Hardwood gets 2 off a Liger bomb, but Davis is back in to break up the powerplex. A Doomsday kick to the face gets 2 on Wheeler, but Hardwood is back in for the save. Now the powerplex can't connect, leaving Fletcher too high crossbody Hardwood into the cover for it to be broken up. Wheeler rolls Davis up for 2, only to walk into a shatter machine from the Aussies. The Callis gets 2 with Hardwood making the save this time. They head outside again. It's a spike power driver on the floor to drop Davis back in, and a super shatter machine as Fletcher comes flying off the top rope. It's into a super shatter machine. FTR retains their titles at 20 minutes, 23 seconds in a really good match. And supposedly somewhere, I forget, was it Magic Killer? Somewhere in the NFL today, somebody either got hit with a Magic Killer or a shatter machine at a football game.
No, it was.
I'm waiting on you. You cut out this time now.
For
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Nah, I forgot what I was going to say.
We were talking about the football team. Somebody got either shatter machine or a Magic Killer at a football. Whoever takes something, a Raiders player got hit with a shatter machine, or one of them at something. And you were going to say something about that.
I think that was had to have been a Raiders LA game. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was
what
at the Raiders game. I just forgot who and what. Anyways,
Yeah,
segue went.
it was hilarious. That was true.
Segue went bad. Anyways, here we are with the recap of Darby Allin versus Christian Cage for the TBS title. Allin wants to prove he belongs in the main event. It is the main event of the evening. It's
The TNT title.
TNT.
well, this writer screwed up, but the TBS title. That's why I read it that way. It is the TNT title. I'm reading the notes that the writer put on here, so I mean, fire the writer. You know, hey writer. Sorry about your damn luck. Anyways, damn. There's a couple catchphrases for you. Anyways, Allin is challenging, and he's already bleeding before the match. I guess he popped himself in the face when he smacked his skateboard against the steel stairs. He was already bleeding before the match even started. This is a 2 out of 3 falls. The feeling out process to start with Cage bailing into the corner and spitting in Allen's face. Allen is calm enough to pull him into an armbar, followed by a headlock to keep him down. Back up, and Christian chops him against the ropes, meaning we get the double bicep pose. It's too early for the unprettier, though, as Allen pulls the turtleneck over. Allen takes, and Christian, you know, like him or hate him, Christian's the only man that I can think can get away in wrestling and wear a turtleneck, especially a sleeveless turtleneck. I mean, you know, I don't know what's up with it, but he had a turtleneck.
Why does he wear the turtleneck?
I think he's been wearing him since Impact. I don't. He never wore him in WWE, but I know in the Impact he wore him. Anyways,
I think it's just a minor detail that just gets heel heat, so he continues to do
so Allen pulls the turtle.
I'm waiting for the Mr. Rogers sweater.
Well, that'll be Marcus Bagwell if he ever gets back in the ring. Anyways, so Allen takes Christian's turtleneck that he has on and pulls it up over his head and blinds him and then rolls him up for a pin at 4 minutes, 55 seconds. So we get the first pin going to Darby Allin. Christian rolls out mad, trying to figure out how to get out of his turtleneck. Eventually has like half it off, half it on, looks at the camera, and he looks pissed and irritated. It was a great moment. So we do pause for a bit as Christian Cage goes over to Nick Wayne's mom, because Nick Wayne's mom is the star of the night, it seems like, and she's still in the front row. Before taking, so he saw Christian's talking to Nick Wayne's mom before taking Allen down again. Cage pounds away at the back and cranks on the neck, keeping things slow. Allen gets back up for some rapid fire roll-ups, but gets sent to the outside in a crash. Cage whips him into the barricade, but goes after Wayne's mom again, allowing Allen to hit a suicide dive, but back in, and the coffin drop hits Ray's knees, allowing Cage to send him into he threw him out there. I mean, he was on the apron, and then he launched him into the announce table, right? Like he speared him, and he went flying hard into the announce table. And I'll tell you, commentators are even out of the game for a minute there as they tried to figure out everything because he went crashing through the announce table. And then we get something like a power slam off the apron. It hits Allen back. Okay, so before that, Christian goes over and moves the steel stairs out. He gets Allen out there on the other side. He was going to suplex Allen into the steps, but I don't know what happened, if this was intentional or if this was a slight botch. They did a good job covering. He suplexed and kind of dropped him before the steps, and then he picked him back up. Looked like he was going to suplex him again. That didn't do it, and then he went into kind of a power slam, a Mark Henry slam. Christian had Cage up in a slam and went and dropped him on the steel stairs. Brutal, dropping him on those steel stairs right there. So that's what happened there. So he drops him back first into the steps, and that's enough. So the medical team's over there checking on Darby Allin. Christian's in the ring telling the ref to count, and at 15 minutes, 18 seconds, we got a count out. So now we are tied at 1-1 with Cage getting a count out victory over Darby Allin. Eventually, the medical team is still out there. Christian Cage decides as he goes over there. The referee's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it! Go! Wait 1 minute." So the ref and the medical team, the metal guys, are checking on Darby Allin, and Christian starts breaking the ropes, starts untying the ropes that are holding the apron down to the ring. He's going around the whole ring, untying the apron, and everybody's like, "What's he doing? What's he doing?" Eventually, a stretcher is brought out. Cage has half the apron pulled up, half of the foam mat under the apron, and then he's exposing the hardwood floor underneath. He rolls it all over to one side, and then we have Darby Allin on a stretcher being stretchered out, and Christian Cage goes and climbs up on the top rope, jumped off the top rope to the outside of the ring, up near the rampway, and lands a frog splash on a Darby Allin, who is laid out on the stretcher. So, yeah, that was definitely not.
That was creative.
Not a pretty move there.
Yeah.
So before so we hit that. That's good. They get him back in, and that's good for 2. Christian grabs him for a Scorpion Deathlock. Darby Allin eventually gets a rope break on that. Cage loads up a suplex onto the steps on the floor, but it gets reversed into a sunset bomb. He was going to suplex him outside, but then he got set up on the ropes, and then he went in for a sunset flipping power bomb. Then Christian set up for a spear, but then he hit the ref, leaving Cage to. Then this is when Cage low blowed Allin, and then went over and grabbed the title. And then Nick Wayne came running down and snatched the title from Cage, then ran over to his mother for a brief moment, and then crawled back in the ring. Darby Allin got back up to his feet, and Darby and Nick Wayne were standing there. Nick Wayne had the TNT title at this time. They looked like they were both about ready to pounce on Christian Cage, and this is when what we expected, what we had said was probably going to happen. Nick Wayne turned on Darby Allin, just smacked him across the face with that title, leaving Darby Allin down. And then Cage goes over for a pin, and not only that, he picks up the referee by his belt and drags him over, and just kind of drops him. Cage gets the pin at 25 minutes, 13 seconds. Christian Cage is still your TNT champion. After the match, post-match, Cage and Wayne hug, and they both start destroying Allin. This brings out Sting very slowly. It takes a long time before Sting comes out here. Sting comes out, tries to get in the middle of it, then he gets beaten down by Nick Wayne and Christian Cage, and then he gets going, which brings Luchasaurus in, and Luchasaurus helps beat down. So we have Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, and Christian Cage beating down Sting. And then they go as Christian Cage goes and gets 2 chairs. With Sting laying there, they set up for a concerto. The lights go out. We get a video package that says feature presentation. And then we see somebody driving a car. And then the lights come up, and we hear the words of the night.
You think you know me. You think you know me.
And Metalingus theme plays, a song that we never thought we'd hear in AEW, but yes. And with the villains handling the chair, out comes the rated R superstar, Adam Copeland. Yes, Adam Copeland comes down, and he walks down. He stares Christian in the face for a little bit. And this took a really long time to build all of this. I don't know if it was all that necessary to drag it out that long. Edge gets to the ring. He asks for the chair. He looks like he's set up to hit Sting with the chair to hit the concerto, and then eventually looks over and nails Nick Wayne with the chair, and then nails Luchasaurus with the chair. Christian runs and escapes, and then I think he basically almost throws the chair at Luchasaurus, and then he hits a did he hit a spear on Luchasaurus into the chair like twice?
2 spares. One of them was onto a chair, and then the other one was onto the wood, and both of them looked nasty.
And so Christian Cage is halfway up the ramp, holding his belt out by the rated R superstar. Adam Copeland is staring down Christian, and eventually Darby Allin and Sting get up. Darby Allin reaches over in kind of a shock to hand out his hand, and he shakes Edge and hit him and shake hands. Sting and Edge shake hands. We end the show. It's a big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, the rated R superstar Adam Copeland is now all elite. So, the rumors, the stories, the notes, everybody was saying it was going to happen. It actually did happen. And so we will see how this plays out. I did not expect that as much of the story as we'll see, but we'll see how it plays out and what's going forward. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that has been your WrestleDreams review. We have broken down all that stuff, and so Power Rangers. There we go. Cut that out for a minute. Anyways, that was WrestleDreams.
All right.
And gentlemen,
You need the other quote.
gentlemen, what did you think of WrestleDream? WrestleDream. Yeah.
Singular.
Yes. Of course, after certain matches tonight, our dreams never mind. But anyways, gentlemen.
You mean besides being jealous of Kris Statlander?
Anywho, yeah. So, gentlemen, what did you think of?
Don't yet.
What do you think of WrestleDreams tonight?
Go ahead. You shoot it first, Paul. Knock yourself out, man.
All right, I am a little bit surprised that they had MJF retain the ROH tag titles. I kind of wanted to see them go on to the Righteous just because it'd be something different. I think because I don't think MJF needs those titles to continue whatever the story is between him and Adam Cole, but that's just a personal opinion. I was very happy with the Eddie Kingston Shibata match. Just overall, it's you knew that was going to be hard hitting. So it's it is what it was.
Ugh.
The Kris Statlander Julia Hart match pretty much was what I thought it would be. It was a good presentation match. The right person won for the time being, but Julia Hart will be back, and she will eventually get that win over Statlander. The Young Bucks winning the future anytime tag title match. I would have preferred Orange Hook, quote unquote Orange Cassidy and Hook, but it is what it is. I liked Strickland and Hangman. I always enjoy anything Nana does. Kind of in that background. I love that little dance, his little all that. Ricky Starks and Willie Yuta. You kind of already knew who was going to win coming in, but it was a good showcase for Yuta. And that was, I think, the more important part.
Yeah.
Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. Again, like you said earlier, if you know anything about those two names, you knew what to expect. Just a hint. You didn't have to know that much about the rivalry, or the hype of the rivalry, I should say. All you had to know was these are both men who know exactly what they're doing. They're both professional technicians, and they put on a clinic. The Don Callis family, Kenny Omega, Jericho, and Kota Ibushi match. It's about what you expected out of it. Sammy Guevara getting the lateral press on Jericho for the pinfall win was interesting. All right. You expected FTR to go over Aussie Open, although I'm very glad that Aussie Open did have that strong showing despite, losing. And then Christian Cage, Darby Allin. Good match, don't get me wrong. Just, I guess I was just kind of hoping for Darby Allin to get that TNT title back. And I did not expect Adam Copeland to be a face in this if he was going to come out, which obviously he did. So, like we've all said, let's see what happens Wednesday going forward.
Yeah, hey you guys. We had 13 views tonight so far. Just thought I'd let you know. I can see the screen here.
Oh man, we still got some people hanging out.
Yeah, we got 5 concurrent viewers, so I think I can.
Thank you for sticking.
I think you know one, I know one, and then I am one. So
There you go.
But yeah, we had 13 viewers so far overall. That's awesome. Hopefully it wasn't all during our time of like technical difficulties, but hey, it's okay. Mr. Miguel Z.
I still like.
Your thoughts on tonight's show?
So I need my overall great show. Paul pretty much said it the way it should have been, but I'm still taken back. I thought Edge was gonna Adam Copeland was gonna team up with his old buddy.
Yeah,
I
was waiting for the concerto.
I didn't see him coming in as a heel, and here's why. If Adam Copeland is the video message he put out and what I've gotten, if he's only here for a short time, I don't think he really wants a heel run. I think he's coming in to do this for money and for fun, and I don't see the heel thing being there. So I thought I thought we would get Christian losing the title tonight to Darby Allin because Luchasaurus messed up, and then okay, something happened funky on the screen like a monkey, so excuse me for a minute, threw me off. But I figured that we'd get
thank you, Dusty.
I wine and dine with kings and queens, and they poking slept in cardboard boxes, and they poking beans or something like that, babies. You know how I do, babies. I'm gonna book it like this. We're gonna have a White Castle of Doom. We're gonna have a fight in the snow. You know what I mean, maybe?
White Castle of Fear. You keep saying Doom every time you bring that up.
White Castle of Fear. This is a new match, baby. See, it's gonna be a White Castle of Doom because it's gonna be an igloo castle, and we're gonna have a snowball fight inside. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be war games in an igloo type of thing, you know. And we're gonna mix up everybody, and we're gonna do it good, okay, baby?
Too cold.
And we're gonna get this. Why? We're gonna get DDP in there too, because DDP is amazing. Let me tell you all about DDP. Anywho,
Who does the yoga?
I
Have Kimberly come back.
well, he's got DDP's got a new wife, so. Anywho,
I'm talking about for the audience. I don't care about DDP. I'm talking about for the visual.
well, there's a lot of other people I would be okay with doing a whole DDP or a whole DDP yoga section. We can start naming some other names off, you know.
Okay, fair.
Io Sky, Julia Hart, Kris Statlander, Bailey, Kota Kai. I mean, hey, Damage Control, doing the yeah. Okay, anyway, we gotta stop. We love everybody.
Hey, we love everybody, folks.
But anyways, like I was saying, I thought Adam would come back as a babyface because I don't think he's here for a long run. I think he's here to have fun. I just thought he was going to come out and we'd have Christian losing the title to Darby Allin, and it would probably be because Luchasaurus screwed up, and then Luchasaurus and Christian Cage getting into a back and forth, which would have led to Luchasaurus snapping and just beating the tar out of Christian just unmercifully. It would have to be very heel-ish to keep Luchasaurus the heel and get the sympathy that would be needed for Christian. So then an Adam Copeland could come down and save Christian, and then they would team up. What we're going to get, it looks like we're going to get Adam Copeland versus Christian to at least start this thing. But as far as I understand, he's only looking at a 1 or 2 year deal. So it's not going to be a very long run. I don't think, I mean, for what he's doing and what he wants to do, I just don't see him coming in as a heel because, I mean, if you're here to do it for fun, help out some of the younger guys, get to know them, I just think that, you know, you're going to come in here, have your fun, and the pop you wanted at the end of the night was the babyface pop anyways. You could have gotten the huge boos. If he would have came in and hit Sting with that chair, I think the boos or the air would have been sucked out of that building for sure, but I think we got a decent inning.
I gotta give kudos though to the taking of spears the way they did. Nick Wayne taking it on the wood, straight wood.
Oh yeah,
nothing, no padding, nothing. Flat backed it. I I applauded that.
It's definitely going to be interesting with Adam Copeland there from this point forward. It's definitely going to draw some eyes over, but I don't know if it's going to be the needle mover that everybody thinks this is like some gigantic deal. Like, oh, WWE got Jade Cargill, but AEW got Adam Copeland, and that's bigger. And it's like it depends on what you're building for. Adam Copeland's a short-term thing. Jade Cargill is a long-term investment who could be used right, will get over, and be of high value to WWE. And it's no disrespect. Everything Adam Copeland has done has been amazing throughout his career. I'm glad he's in AEW. I hope he's here to have fun and enjoy his time and have one more little run in a new flavor. I hope he brings the best. I hope it's good, but I don't know right now if this is going to be the big drop in the bucket that AEW is going to think. It's just like if a Dolph Ziggler comes over or any of the other guys that have been released, it's going to give you something new, something fresh. But again, every time you bring in somebody new, who's going to get left behind? And the big thing that for Tony Khan is, yeah, you've got Adam Copeland, you've got the rated R superstar in your pocket. You got him to play, but how many people are going to be left off a card because Adam Copeland's there? How many of your younger stars that you should be building and developing and getting out there for the future? You know, it's the only thing I'm seeing with Tony Khan. He's hiring a lot of the veterans now. It's becoming more in WCW as we move forward, and I hate to say that. And I don't mean to put that down as a put down, but it is just.
I was gonna say, you stated earlier, like people talking about, oh, look at this, look at what they're doing, or look at what they're doing. I'm gonna just put it out there right now. Just enjoy wrestling the way it is right now, folks. We are in a great time, and there's a lot of options on the table to watch. So let's be fans and enjoy it. Get lost in the moment and have fun.
And that would be the big key takeaway. But, I mean, there's a lot of factors that are just pointing that Tony Khan is playing more WCW, and I'm just kind of like, okay, Tony, you've got to start, finding these people you have there and developing them, because a lot of the people, I mean, we all thought Andrade El Idolo would have been something, and he's kind of been a hit and miss and hit in the fire. Malachi Black has been on and off. And then you have
let's talk about
Miro. Miro's, I guess he's.
Oh, where's he at?
Well, Miro's upset. The only reason Miro even got on last pay-per-view was because he went to Tony Khan and basically begged and pleaded, put me on the pay-per-view. So they got the contract shining there. But yeah, Miro does not seem to be happy with his current standings in AEW because he says.
Didn't they just sign his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But here's the other thing. People are not even talking about. Not only did we get Jay Cargill jumping over to WWE, Brian Pillman's already jumped over there. And just from the little segments they had on NXT No Mercy, they've already hyped him up to be a big deal. They've taken him further than Tony Khan took him in AEW when he had an opportunity to use the name Brian Pillman Jr. I mean, that's you can build so much on that name.
I've heard from several people that seen that vignette and are very excited to see what.
I'm excited, especially since they're doing some throwback, because I'm like, his daddy was. I don't know how far in, or if he was on the practice squad with the Cincinnati Bengals before he came into pro wrestling. The whole reason he came into pro wrestling, he got injured. That was that whole leg in or knee or whatever it was, so he could continue football, and then he became a professional wrestler. And that's why originally when he was flying Brian Pillman, he came out with the Bengal trunks. Not only because he's from Cincinnati, but because he played there briefly. So I like the throwbacks in the vignettes. The vignettes are just really good about how they set up the introduction of Brian Pillman. And WWE's doing some things. We got to see what Ava Rain's going to do, though, because they just killed Joe Gacy and Schism. So
yeah. I was talking to a few people about the Brian Pillman vignettes that they posted that they did during No Mercy, and someone had an interesting take on it. Was how about you bring him back as a loose cannon?
You're only gonna get following in his father's footsteps, being in his shadow. I don't know if you need the loose cannon, and then plus he's also done on the independents. On top of that, I don't know if they need to do that exactly, because he's already gonna get the comparisons. He's spitting image of his father.
I don't.
So anyone who knows anything is going to talk about it as it is.
Keep his mullet. They need to let him keep the mullet.
Yes.
He has the mullet, but
that is a handsome mullet.
He has the mullet, and he will use that. But you can't bring back the loose cannon. The loose cannon was a character devised by Brian Pillman. And again, Brian Pillman was so good that people didn't WWE and even Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. Nobody really knew if he was playing them or if this was really him when he pulled off all that gimmick, because he went to Eric Bischoff, give me your release. I'm going to go over here, or act like you're going to give me your release. I'll go into ECW and WWE and do all the stuff, and then I'll come back with the bigger name, all because he wanted more money. So was he playing a gimmick? Was he playing Eric Bischoff, or was this legit that he thought was going to work? Unfortunately, we never got to find out, and that's, the sad truth. But now we have Brian Pillman Jr. there. I just hope that he can take his namesake and put it into the modern era, and then make his own namesake out of it. And of course,
well, like we've seen it when we've seen how Tony Khan dropped the ball with him. They had all that momentum from Dark Side, all that stories that they did about his dad. They had the big sympathy. The fans were behind him, and
when they split up the Varsity Blondes, I thought it was the time for Brian Pillman Jr. to shoot off, but it didn't happen. Now he's in WWE, and I think he has a great opportunity, and he's going to be starting on NXT, and NXT is pulling it out. No Mercy. I heard there was the Trick Williams, the Dominic Trick Williams match, and then the Dragunov.
Carmelo Hayes.
I heard those.
NXT
I heard those were
championship
close to 5-star matches, alone with the Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton match, that main event, that pay-per-view where Becky Lynch wound up getting 11 stitches from a laceration. I heard that match was like over the top. I heard they brought.
I might have to go back and watch.
I heard NXT brought it. Now I've heard some people who weren't too fans of NXT, but I've heard that they last night, No Mercy, definitely put its name on the table. So we'll have to see.
I wonder why.
AEW WrestleDreams.
I got to find out who went to that show.
AEW WrestleDream was a great pay-per-view overall. I think they did good. It's kind of getting up there. I don't think it was the greatest AEW pay-per-view, but it was up there. It was good. I think we had some really good matches. I think the Eddie Kingston Shibata match.
This had
good.
my attention the whole show.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Is it had my attention the whole show. There wasn't a lull. It wasn't losing interest and wanting to be like,
I don't know.
But there was a lot more high points.
I think I kind of dwelled out when the Yuta Ricky Starks match is, because the Hangman Swerve match with that audience being so in there, and then that match was kind of a nah. And then of course they got thrown right in. That match, unfortunately, I think just got booked in the wrong place, because it's gotten overshadowed on both ends by two big matches. Swerve Strickland and Hangman turned out to be pretty damn good, and then
I think that's kind of the point, though. Also, was to have that put it lower match,
cool down match.
Yeah,
it was definitely a cool down match. I feel bad for Ricky Starks and Yuta, because they're really talented, and of course, if Tony Khan will work with them, Ricky Starks' contract's coming up. Do you know who Ricky Starks is a guy of? Ricky Starks is a Cody guy. So that's another thing you got to worry about. Brian Pillman Jr. was a Cody guy, and he's definitely under the right tutelage tree if he surrounds himself with Cody over there.
Jade. Look at Jade. She jumped when she was done.
So, I mean, Tony Khan's got to be careful, because he has a lot of younger talent, and for whatever reason, Tony Khan's never going to release anybody. From what he said, he doesn't want to release anybody unless he absolutely has to. He just wants to run out their contracts, but Tony Khan's got to be careful with the talent he has that's younger, that is the future of his company, jumping ship to WWE and then becoming the megastars. Because with WWE doing what they did with Jake Hardheel, and no, they didn't do it as big with Brian Pillman, but they still did enough to make Brian Pillman be. You're going to be interested in seeing what is Brian Pillman going to bring to the table. So WWE is definitely ready to invest anybody that's coming over from AEW to. I would have to assume whether it's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, to go, okay, you didn't know how to do it. We're going to show you how to do it and take these names and make them bigger. So Tony's got to be careful. He can hire all these veterans, and that's awesome. And all the ones that are going to come up, he can get in there with a Dolph Ziggler or a Shelton Benjamin and Ali. He can bring Matt Riddle in if he wants. But again, they have the name recognition. But what are you building for tomorrow? Because you look up and down that card, where are some of the stars from tomorrow? They're very far few in between.
The man's got a big roster and no room to put him.
He's got a huge roster. It's massive with the amount of people on there, and he's not getting them all on there. And we're getting a lot of people that I think, A, don't necessarily need to be on a show, or we're getting a lot of people on every show, which is kind of like, okay, you have 3 shows. How can you not get some of these other people on the show? So, Wrestle Dreams, boys and girls, Wrestle Dreams. So, anyways, this has been Wrestle Dreams. This is Value Wrestling right here on YouTube. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like. Give us a thumbs up. Now, if you watch this live, great. If you come back and watch it later, it'll probably have some editing within the next 24 hours. It'll be cleared up and back up. A little, not a whole lot to be cut out, but we're going to get it back up and get cleaned up. So if you're watching this later, you're going to watch a different version. But, hey, that's okay. It's all good. We're here to do what we do. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. Ring that bell for notifications because you want to be notified whenever we go live. Again, the weekly roundup will be going live Sundays from here forward at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're out on the East Coast, yes, that's 3 o'clock. If you're in the middle, you can figure it out. Drop an hour or two either way. If you're overseas somewhere, well, I don't know what to tell you. I can only tell you that I can't even tell you because now I'm in California. When I was in Tennessee, I know it was about 12 to 13 hours over to the Middle East. But that's a whole different story. Anyways, this has been Wrestle Dreams. It's been our review. We've covered next week. We'll be here with Weekly Roundup. We will also be here after Saturday night's Fastlane, which is going down in Indianapolis. Some great matches there. And, of course, we'll be back this week with all types of stuff. There will be the daily, the nightly match review commentary. What news?
Quick match results.
What matches? What other news may come out? We'll definitely have some news. I believe Marty Richards working on another video somewhere in the bowels of the building.
I'm finishing a results vid from this morning's New Japan show,
And
that'll be up on Tuesday morning at Spotify.
yeah, over on Spotify, always on Spotify. The Value Wrestling is expanding out. We are on Spotify with Miguel Z over there doing the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound, where he covers everything about New Japan Pro Wrestling because he is our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert. So he should know everything about New Japan Pro Wrestling, like the Bread King.
I'm there.
I was gonna go there.
I don't follow it that much for that guy. That he doesn't bring it up in Japan. That's why I didn't say anything.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Value Wrestling. We're here to have fun, and we enjoy ourselves, and we enjoy our time.
I will
together.
actually, you know what? I gotta find me a Bread King shirt. I will wear it next time. Within the next month, I'll find a shirt and I will wear it. Make everyone happy.
And Miguel said this.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is about a time to call it a good night, a fair adieu. It is time to say. And until the next episode, we are going to get out of here and call it a night. We thank you for joining us right here on your WrestleDream review.
Thank you, sirs.